Good morning, students. Today we are going to see a very interesting accounting standard 16. This is borrowing cost. So first, borrowing cost, what is the logic? Borrow on that you are paying any cost. So that is interest cost. That is interest cost. So write down accounting standard 16, borrowing cost. Good morning, Mansi. Good morning, Radha. Good morning, Janki. Very good morning to all of you. Okay. Aditya, Shivendra, Vatan. Yes, Vatan. Good morning and Jai Hind. Waited too long to attend your live lecture. Yes, beta. Vignesh, good morning. Bharat, good morning. Shubham, Kirtana, Shoaib, Dhanupriya. Today, many new names. Very good. Okay. So, first thing, what is the meaning of borrowing cost? Write down meaning of borrowing cost. Write down meaning of borrowing cost. Now here, bank is giving you loan and businessman borrows it and he pays this interest. Interest is only a borrowing cost. So why there is a need of this accounting standard interest? We taught it in 11th, 12th standard that interest is debited to profit and loss account. But wait, in accounting standard 16, this is again, first thing, whether this is accounting standard or whether this is disclosure standard, write down in margin, it is accounting standard. Now, as it is accounting standard, the RMPD analysis is important. Recognition, measurement, presentation, and disclosure. So, friends, this is the accounting standard and not a disclosure standard. So, we are going to understand accounting entry in this standard. So, basically, why borrowing cost? So it is very easy that interest is debited to P&L. But here there is one exception. We will not debit interest to profit and loss account, but we are going to capitalize the interest. So what is the meaning of capitalization? In simple language, it is added in the asset. What is the meaning of this accounting standard? We are going to capitalize interest. Sir, but interest is debited to P&L. And that exception we are going to understand borrowing in case of borrowing cost, that qualifying asset. Now, what is qualifying asset? We will see it. But suppose if it is a qualifying asset, in that case, interest has to be capitalized on this asset. Oh, sir, means interest is not a revenue expenditure in this case. Yes, interest is not revenue expenditure, but we will depreciate the interest. So this interest is depreciated. Remember, this interest is depreciated and that is capitalized, means we will add it in the asset. Okay, sir. So now you understood what is the meaning of borrowing cost. Write down in meaning, interest and other cost is incurred in connection with borrowing of funds. Okay. Okay, sir. So interest and other costs incurred in connection with borrowing of funds. Many students requested me to have white background. So today Can you tell me, is it visible properly as compared to black background? Tell me in the comment section. So beta, here interest is added in the asset. So is only interest is added? Can you tell me, suppose if asset is financed by equity or asset is financed by preference share capital, in that case, whatever dividend is paid is added to asset? So beta, definitely not. Remember, write down this in your notebook. If dividend is paid on equity, if dividend is paid on equity and equity is used to purchase qualifying asset, in that case, dividend is not capitalized. Dividend is not capitalized. Logic, bracket में write down in bracket. Dividend is not capitalized, in bracket write down. Dividend is imputed cost. Imputed means internal cost. And it is always, remember, dividend is paid on owner's capital and interest is paid on liability. So interest is capitalized and not owner's capital return is capitalized. In FM, you are going to understand this concept in cost of capital. Now, in cost of capital, we have this imputed cost, means internal cost for dividend. There are 4 approaches which is given in the cost of capital topic for equity. That is dividend approach, earning approach, CAPM model, and realized yield approach. So dividend, there are 4 approaches in in financial management also. But this is a cost in financial management. But this cost, there is a cost for equity, but this cost is never added in your borrowing cost. Remember, in asset, it is the appropriation of profit. What it's called as dividend is appropriation of profit and interest is charge against profit. And only interest is capitalized. Dividend is never capitalized. Okay, though you acquire funds and you acquire the asset, and though you procure funds and acquire the asset, that asset is qualifying asset, still dividend is not capitalized. Remember this thing. Okay, so we understood. So what is included in borrowing cost? So write down concept number 2. Concept number 1 you already mentioned. Okay. Inclusion in borrowing cost. Have you written inclusion in borrowing cost? Concept number 2. Now borrowing cost is basically, we have divided, means ICAI has divided it in 5 parts. But in Indes, it is only in 3 parts. So interest and commitment charges on borrowing. Write down first. Amortization of discount or premium on borrowing. Amortization of ancillary costs relating to borrowing. Finance charges for asset acquired under foreign finance lease, and which is very important, last one, exchange difference. because I taught it in accounting standard 11, that we will see it in the accounting standard 16 for interest, exchange difference in case of interest. And now it is a time to understand that remaining part of accounting standard 11, which I already told you that I'm going to take it in accounting standard 16, and here what is exchange difference. So write down all these 5 parts fast. Good morning, Buddha Nandishwaram. Good morning, Agreish. Good morning, beta. Ilya, good morning. Athira, Janki, Shivendra. Shivendra is saying, sir, background is not a problem because your presentation is always interesting. Thank you, Shivendra. Okay. So write down all this. And those students who joined late, good morning once again to all of you. In the month of March, our schedule is getting revised. That will be uploaded today only. My session will be in the evening from 6 to 8:30. So please save your data pack. Otherwise, it will be difficult to attend the live session. Okay. I want each and every student in live session. Your costing and taxation will start from 17. So we will get some less number of lectures, but they allow me to give recorded sessions. So don't worry, beta. So I planned for small topics only for you, and big topics I will give it in the recorded session. So don't worry. Okay. So here, interest and commitment charges. So interest and commitment charges. Now, what is commitment charges? At the time of taking loan, you have to pay some extra expenses, or these are like you are paying any stamp duty or agreement expenses while taking a loan, and such expenses, commitment charges, are also added. If suppose if you are getting any discount or premium, discount will be deducted, premium will be added. In case of borrowings, suppose if you are issuing debentures, is related expenses definitely will be amortized, and finance charges you won't understand. You'll understand is after accounting standard 19. So there are some conditions which are related to finance lease, but remember what is important for you in exam, it is the exchange difference. It is the exchange difference. Okay. Bhavya, yes, beta, good morning, but I don't think I got any message at 7. Okay, so I will read it afterwards. Beta, Telegram channel, Janki, they told me to post your queries only on YouTube channel only in comment section. They are not going to turn off the YouTube channel comment section. So you can post your query and I will definitely answer your query if you ask it within 2 days. If you ask me after 2 days, it is not possible for me. Suppose if I see it afterwards, after 2 days, then I will definitely reply. But it's not possible for me to see all my previous sessions. So if you ask me any query related to this, I will complete it. Okay. So Radha is saying, sir, accounting standard 19 beta already completed. So you know already what is finance charges. Yes, so finance charges, it is only in the case of finance lease, and it is not in case of operating lease, because in operating lease you will treat it as rent only, and in case of finance lease you will consider as our own asset, and therefore whatever interest you are paying on this, it's like hire purchase problem. So that finance charges you will debit it to profit and loss account normally, but here it will get capitalized. Okay. Chalo, return. Now, This exchange difference is very, very important. Mark it as IMP by red pen. Exchange difference. And in study material, it is in slightly complicated way, but I will tell you in the simple way. So my way is different. You will get the same answer, but provision which is given in the study material is slightly different than my way of presentation. So remember this exchange difference, I will make it very simple now. Okay. Yes, Gitanjali, you can give a feedback. No problem. Exchange difference on amount of principal of foreign currency borrowings. Write down now, this is very important. Please now concentrate, because now this concept is really, it is not very easy to understand. So focus on the concept now. Exchange difference, and you may get a 5 marks question on this concept. Exchange difference and amount of principal of foreign currency borrowings. In this you have to write consider lower of interest on foreign currency borrowings plus exchange difference. Interest on foreign currency borrowings plus exchange difference, or interest on local currency borrowings. Write down this. I will give you one example, so it will be very easy after that. So write down consider lower of interest on foreign currency borrowing plus exchange difference or interest on local currency borrowings. जितने भी सो गए थे सब उड़ गए. Okay. Khushbu, beta, these virtual coaching classes are free of cost. Suppose if you want all sessions, I'm telling it from my side, so you can visit. Okay, so I will not tell you what is officially, it is not allowed to tell. But you want each and every question, then you have second option. Yes, but I will tell you afterwards. Because each and every question is not possible to solve it in this session. And if you want pen drive or Google Drive, I will tell you it later. Okay. So write down this. Consider lower of interest on foreign currency borrowings plus exchange difference, or interest on local currency borrowings. Now this exchange difference, sir, what is exactly the meaning? I will tell you, but you have to keep some patience, because I will take one problem. Note. Write down this note. It's very, very important. If interest on foreign currency borrowing plus exchange difference is greater than interest on local currency borrowing, whatever is the difference between interest on foreign currency borrowing plus exchange difference minus interest on local currency borrowing is transferred to P&L. And suppose if it is less, then difference won't arise. Why? I will tell you it. So write down this. Difference will not arise. And this is given by my technique. So in study material, you have separate technique, different technique, but this is very simple to understand. Just write down it. I will tell you by giving one example. By giving you example. So write down this. Write down. You will understand it only after telling you some figures. Okay. So beta, interest on foreign currency borrowing plus exchange difference is, if it is greater than the interest of local currency borrowings, definitely the difference will arise and that will be transferred to P&L. And in second case, difference won't arise. No beta Janki, I'm not going to take cost management accounting. Okay. So here, I will give you one example. On 1st April 2001, XYZ Limited has taken a loan. Now remember, this difference is only in case of exchange, or it is in case of foreign borrowings. So here XYZ Limited has taken, try to understand, has taken a loan. This example is given in the study material, so we'll write only solution. This is given in the study material and I just break it in some lines. So on 1st April 2001, beta, there is a loan of $10,000. Now, for a specific project at the rate of interest 5%. So beta, interest rate is 5%. And $10,000 is a loan amount. Okay, we understood it. $10,000 and interest rate 5%. So they borrowed it from USA. Why? Because $10,000 and USA interest rate is a 5%. But remember, though it is cheaper than Indian currency, interest rate is cheaper as compared to Indian rate. The problem is that everyone will demand US loan. And in that case, what is the exchange rate today is not possible after 1 year. Definitely exchange rate will get increased because everyone will demand foreign currency. You're getting the concept? So today's exchange rate might be 45 and tomorrow's interest rate, after 1 year interest rate, when it is a time of repayment, our interest rate might be increased by 3 rupees. So though you saved in the interest, but you paid in the form of exchange difference. Exchange loss will be there. So though you saved in USA interest rate, but you paid for, because everyone will demand interest loan from USA, and in that case, dollar will get inflated. Okay. So beta, on 1st April, $1 is equal to 45. And on 31st March 2002, dollar rate is 48. So when you acquired loan or when you borrowed, at that time rate was different. And on balance sheet date, rate is different. Suppose in India, interest rate is 11%. Now you have to tell me, I'm not going to show you the answer, and please don't cheat. I want every one of you, suppose if you purchase or if you borrow from USA, what amount that you are paying? Now you are paying interest, and I want to know what is the exchange loss. Exchange loss is 3 rupees that I can say, I can tell it to you, but I want how much interest that you are going to pay. And suppose if you are borrowing in India, what is the amount of interest? So I want to know interest in case of foreign currency plus exchange loss. Exchange loss, I will tell you 30,000. सीधा बता देता हूँ. 10,000 into 48 minus 45, 30,000. But I want interest amount that you paid and what is the amount that you are going to pay in India, only interest amount. So tell it me in the comment section. Yes, fast. Yes, everyone will demand. Very good, beta. You understood it, Watan. So everyone will demand the dollar, and in that case, dollar price gets increased. So exchange rate gets increased. Very good. But now tell me what is the answer? Vijay Shankar is saying, sir, 49,500 is interest in India. Very good, beta. You are correct. 49,000 is the interest amount. Nandishwaram is saying, sir, 24,000 is the interest in foreign currency. 24,000. Yes. Nandishwaram, correct, beta. So please mention it, whether it's in the foreign currency or Indian currency. Okay. Vignesh, no, beta, you're wrong. So write down answer. Now remember, if suppose I am purchasing, I am borrowing from foreign. So what is the amount that I'm going to pay? That is a 5% interest. I borrowed $10,000. $10,000 into 5%. So I have to pay $500. But remember, now I will convert it into Indian currency because I want to see, because I'm going to pay it in rupees and then I will convert it into dollars. So I want to pay $500. I will go to exchange bank and I will pay $1 is equal to 48 rupees beta. Why? Because I am paying interest now. And now interest rate is 5% on $10,000. And but remember, exchange rate is not 45 because I am paying it as on 31st March 2002. So many students answered it correctly. Sir, 24,000 we are going to pay. Very good. And if exchange difference, that exchange difference, because you are paying $10,000 also. And as you know, this is a monetary item. Loan here is a creditor. And this is a monetary item. And as this is a monetary item, you are paying it at, you are recording it at exchange rate 48. And 3 rupees is the loss that you are incurring. So you are paying 24,000 in the form of interest, and exchange difference is 30,000. So you are totally you are paying 54,000 extra. What is the amount that you are paying extra? 54,000. But suppose if I am borrowed it from Indian currency in India. So in India, I will borrow it on the first day only. I borrowed it on the first day only. So what is the exchange rate? So instead of $10,000, I have at that time rupees. And rupees rate at that time, $1 is equal to 45. So $10,000 rate is very, very important, beta. If you are paying it after 1 year, it is 48. That is in case of foreign currency. But in case of Indian currency, it is the opportunity. What is the opportunity? That you borrowed on the first day when $1 is equal to 45. So remember, on local currency, it is the first day rate. So you can write over there, local currency 45, you can mark it in the red pen. And if you borrow it in the foreign currency, you will pay it after 1 year, and therefore rate is 48. So in foreign currency, what is the rate? 48. Very good, beta. And in case of local currency, what is the rate? 45, because this is an opportunity, and opportunity is always on the first day. So 45 rupees. Okay. So suppose if it is cheaper, what is the logic behind it? So if it is a cheaper in India, then you should borrow it from India, and therefore only 49,500 is capitalized, and remaining balances, yes, tell me, 2,000, 4,500, 49,500 is capitalized, and 4,500 is considered in P&L. In simple language, if you are getting it cheaper in India, that amount we will capitalize. If it is cheaper outside India, in that case, whole amount will be capitalized. Then the exchange difference won't arise. जब घर में ही है सोना तो काय को रोना. That is the logic of it. Okay, Muthoot Finance. So if you are getting it cheaper in India, only that amount will be capitalized. Remaining amount is not going to capitalize. Remaining amount is called as exchange difference. Okay, definitely foreign currency is cheaper. Foreign interest rate is cheaper because their savings rate are also cheaper. But remember, everyone will attract to foreign currency, and in that case exchange loss will arise. But what accounting standard 11 says, if it is cheaper in India, that amount we will capitalize. Remaining amount, remember, in from my pocket I'm going to spend 24,000 and 30,000 out of pocket expenses, and if opportunity is cheaper, so that amount will be capitalized. Remaining amount is transferred to P&L. But suppose if Indian currency is mehenga, okay, suppose if Indian currency is not cheaper, it is costlier, in that case there will be no difference. That case, if suppose interest on local currency is greater, you will fully amount you will capitalize it. Understood the concept? And therefore I have written exchange difference won't arise in case of interest plus exchange loss is smaller than local currency borrowings. I hope you are clear with the concept now. It's very easy. Yes, tell me in the comment section, entry building account debit or that qualifying asset account debit to P&L account debit. That qualifying asset is amounted rupees 49,500. P&L account debit 4,500. To bank you have paid 54,000. So if you want to write entry, you can write it. So write down the answer. Yes, are you getting this? Tell me in the comment section, or otherwise press like button if you understood the concept. Okay, that is much needed. Your feedback are always welcome feedback. Please give proper feedback so we can definitely extend this activity to next level. This is only a second batch. We want to improve it a lot. So this time we have a time shortage, and that's why we have taken some decision, but beta is very important. Opportunity cost and interest plus exchange difference is actual cost. What is the actual cost? Interest plus exchange difference. Interest plus exchange difference. This is the opportunity cost. And that one, first one is the actual cost. Actual cost. Yes. Thank you, Shubhangi. Now only Radha has a question. Better this will calculate after 1 year only. Opportunity means if I borrowed from India, at that time I have, at that time on the first day, what is the amount that I have? $10,000, and I will convert it into Indian rupees, into 45 rupees. So rather it's very simple. On local currency borrowing, you will consider first Deka rate, and on foreign currency borrowing, you will take it on the last Deka rate. Okay, so now I will explain it in Hindi once again. Okay, beta, entry will be asset account debit 49,500. You spent 54,000, but out of that you will capitalize only 49,000. So asset account debit 49,500. P&L account debit means interest account debit 4,500. In P&L you will show it under the head interest, and to bank you spent 54,000. Yes, I repeated the entry. Okay, qualifying asset will be 49,500. Very good, Janki ji. So this is a simple logic which I have considered. What is the greater amount and what is the smaller amount? You will spend interest plus exchange difference in case of foreign borrowings. Whether exchange difference will arise in case of local borrowing, beta? It won't arise. Na? Exchange loss never arise in case of local borrowings. How it is possible? Okay. No, beta. We don't have to pass any entry Nandishwaram in this case. we just have to write amount for this. 49,500 is capitalized and 4,500 will consider it in the profit and loss account. This is the conclusion that you have to write it in the exam. Okay. Entry, I am telling you exactly the entry will be asset account debit, P&L account debit to cash. So there is no need of any entry for this in exam. सो बेटा एक बार मैं वापस से हिंदी में बता देता हूँ, क्विक रिवीजन ऑफ 2 मिनट्स। देखो बोरोइंग कॉस्ट होता क्या है, बोरोइंग कॉस्ट ये अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड 16 में आया। बोरोइंग कॉस्ट आने के पीछे लॉजिक इज वेरी सिंपल कि भाई हमने जो लोन बोरो किया है तो वो उसके इंटरेस्ट का क्या, सर इसके लिए अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड की एक्चुअली जरूरत तो होती नहीं है, सो इंटरेस्ट तो P&L में डालते हैं, बट अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड इसीलिए तो आया कि इंटरेस्ट इज नॉट ओनली डेबिटेड इन P&L पर ये इंटरेस्ट को कैपिटलाइज करना है। तो ये इंटरेस्ट को जब हम लोग कैपिटलाइज करते हैं तो एंट्री क्या होगी, कैपिटलाइज करना मतलब एसेट को डेबिट देते हैं, मतलब वो डेप्रिसिएट होगा। इंस्टेड ऑफ हम लोग डायरेक्टली रेवेन्यू एक्सपेंडिचर नहीं बता सकते, P&L में डायरेक्टली हिट नहीं कर सकते। सर ये कौन सी केसेस है, तो वो तो आगे देखने वाले व्हाट इज द क्वालिफाइंग एसेट, पर इतना हमें समझ में आया कि भाई इंटरेस्ट जो होता है वो हम लोग कैपिटलाइज करेंगे। अभी ये इंटरेस्ट में एक पार्ट था इंक्लूजन ऑफ एक्सचेंज डिफरेंस, तो ये एक्सचेंज डिफरेंस मतलब हम लोग यदि फॉरेन से लोन लेते हैं तो फॉरेन से लोन लेते टाइम हमारे $10,000 हमने यदि लोन लिया तो इंडिया में हमने लोन लिया रहता तो वो हमारी अपॉर्चुनिटी कॉस्ट होती थी, और जो अपॉर्चुनिटी कॉस्ट यदि सस्ती होगी तो आप फॉरेन में जाके क्यों लोन ले रहे हो, ये उसका लॉजिक है। यदि मैं फॉरेन में जाके लोन ले रहा हूं तो वो केस में मुझे एक्सचेंज लॉस 100% आएगा, क्योंकि सभी लोग वहां पे अट्रैक्ट होंगे। इंडियन अच्छी नहीं लग रही है, सॉरी इंडियन अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है, हम लोग फॉरेन में अट्रैक्ट हो गए। सो फॉरेन में अट्रैक्ट हो गए तो होगा क्या, वहां पे तो भैया आपकी कॉस्ट तो बढ़ने वाली है। इंडिया में तो बहुत सस्ता था, पर सपोज इंडिया में महंगा है तो फिर कोई बात नहीं है। यदि इंडिया में सस्ता है तो वो केस में आप इंडिया से क्यों नहीं लोन लिया, तो समझ लीजिए तो हमें दो टाइप का इधर लॉस होगा। इंटरेस्ट भले हमें सस्ता गिरा पर एक्सचेंज डिफरेंस वहां पे आने वाला है। अभी मेरे जेब में से कितना गया, 24,000 प्लस 30,000, 54,000। यदि मेरे जेब से 54,000 जाता है और यदि मैं इंडिया से लोन लेता था, अपॉर्चुनिटी, यदि मैंने उसके साथ शादी की रहती तो आज मैं और खुश होता, अपॉर्चुनिटी पर की नहीं ना, वही तो केस है। लोकल करेंसी में हमने लिया, 49,500 हमारा हो सकता था, तो हो सकता था तो वो चीपर था, तो 54,000 रुपीज मेरे जेब से जा रहा है, उसमें से सिर्फ 49,500 जाएगा, तो बचा हुआ 4,500 में P&L में डालूंगा। बस इसका यही कॉन्सेप्ट है। आई होप यू अंडरस्टूड। ओके बेटा, गीतांजलि यदि लिया होता तो समझ ले, फ्रॉम मैसूर। ओके ओके बेटा, विघ्नेश is saying sir while you explained it in Hindi it feels like a Korean movie because I don't understand Hindi. Don't worry beta, see my expressions only. Okay, वैष्णवी now you understood पालघर से। बेटा अपॉर्चुनिटी कॉस्ट है बेटा, हिंदी में भी बता दिया कि ये मैं लेता था तो क्या, तो ये लोकल करेंसी का पालघर से जो है वैष्णवी समझ ले बेटा, लेता था मैं अमाउंट बाहर लोन से तो क्या हुआ रहता, मेरे जेब से 49,500 गया होता, ये उसका लॉजिक है। विघ्नेश आई होप यू अंडरस्टूड दिस। ओके सो might be sometimes now one accounting standard 16 this accounting standard in previous course it was in old course it was in group 2, and what happened in one of the the question was very easy. They mentioned LIBOR rate. LIBOR means London Interbank Offer Rate is 2% and in notes they have given London Interbank Offer Rate was 3%. So 3% plus 2%, that is a 5% you will consider for foreign currency borrowing. I will tell you what is given in the question. So some students are telling me after the exam, sir, it was out of syllabus question. Beta, out of syllabus is not there. You have to apply your own mind. What is given in the question? Okay, bank has given you loan, sanction loan at LIBOR. LIBOR is like base rate. You can say it as a base rate. Plus bank has their margin. They will take 2% extra from you. And below that, they have given after 5 lines, they have given LIBOR rate is 3%. So what is the foreign interest rate? It is very simple, 3% plus 2%, 5%. So they have not given you directly 5% interest rate. They have given you LIBOR, but many students are not aware of LIBOR, and that's why they considered it is out of syllabus. LIBOR is London Interbank Offer Rate. Okay. But credit is never there. Income is never. It is always exchange loss. Remember, there is no saving, and that's why I have written if your exchange loss and interest rate is lower than local currency, you don't have to give any difference key entry. You will directly consider exchange loss plus foreign currency rate, that total amount in the asset side. You will capitalize full amount. In that case, ignore local currency. What is the logic? If Indian local currency is cheaper, that amount you should capitalize it. That is the opportunity amount. If it is cheaper. And remaining balance is your exchange loss under accounting standard 11. That is the logic which is given by accounting standard 16. It's very simple. And if it is cheaper than Indian local currency, our exchange loss, foreign borrowing and exchange loss, in that case, difference won't arise. There will be a difference, but you won't take a difference. You will capitalize whole amount of foreign currency plus exchange loss. Okay. Okay, Ashima. Now I hope everyone is clear. If you are not clear with the example, please watch this session again and again. Okay. Okay, beta. Nandishwaram, thank you. London Interbank Offer Rate, and in exam sometimes concept I have already taken, but they can change the language of the question, and don't worry in that case. Please apply your mind that LIBOR plus 2%, though you don't know what is exactly LIBOR, but at least you know what is the addition. It is 3% plus 2%, 5% will be the bank sanction loan rate. It's very easy. It is not out of syllabus question. Okay. So profit, yes, definitely there will be no profit, because foreign currency is always cheaper in case of interest rate. In case of interest rate, foreign countries are always cheaper, but definitely all normally investor will get attracted towards foreign, and in that case, what will happen? Exchange loss arises. So there will be always exchange loss, 99%. Yes. Shaurya is asking, sir, can we present? Yes, better, no problem. And suppose if you understood the logic of this problem, you can present it in the ICAI way. So ICAI way is slightly difficult. I won't say it is difficult always. They have considered interest for the period 24,000, that I consider 30,000. Local currency, they have given it in this way only, 49,500. Then they consider 49,500 and 24,000 ka difference, 25,500, and out of 30,000, 25,500 is allowed, and remaining balance they have not considered. Means 4,500 they consider it in the profit and loss account. So they compare Indian currency local rate and foreign currency interest rate, and after that balance will be bifurcated from 30,000. So ultimately they are doing in my way only. Okay. Yes, Janki, you understood it now. Very well. Shaurya, present like yes, you can present the answer like me only. That final conclusion is important. Okay, so final conclusion, 49,500 will be capitalized and 4,500 will be transferred to profit and loss account. That is the important point. Okay, I hope everyone understood this. Now we'll move to next concept. Next concept, a qualifying asset. Now it is very, very important. Now what is qualifying asset? This is concept number 3. Write down concept number 3. Concept number 3. What is qualifying asset? What is Ram Prakash is asking? both cases we are paying 54k. Yes, yes, yes. In any case we are going to pay 54,000. Okay. But no, I'm telling you that Indian currency is the opportunity. This is the opportunity that I paid. If I borrowed it in the Indian currency, that is the opportunity. Yes, Janki, I know module answer is little bit confusing. Okay. But still it is given in the pronouncement. And I, yes, created a shortcut for it. What is exactly? It is exchange loss plus interest, foreign interest rate, and you will compare it with the local currency rate. And local currency rate is always the opportunity rate. Okay, so now let's move to next concept. Concept number 3, what is the qualifying asset? Now name itself suggests qualifying under accounting standard 16. Now this definition under qualifying means it qualifies for capitalization, and this is the concept which is called as qualifying asset. And I already taught you this concept in accounting standard 2. If you remember the example of wine, that inventory interest is also capitalized. If you remember, if you are revising it properly, that normally interest is never added it in the inventory cost. Only raw material, direct labor, direct expenses, and factory overhead we add it. But interest is added only, there is an exception. In exception, I told you that interest is added in the qualifying asset. Now, sir, what is qualifying asset? Qualifying asset means which takes a substantial time to get ready for its intended use. Now, remember, definition is very easy. An asset, if it takes a substantial time, means this is not the ready-made asset. You have to construct it, and it takes some time, okay, to become ready. And at that time also, it is not, I'm not telling you this is for, yes, this is not a subject of my wife, which takes a time when we go outside. This asset takes a substantial time to get ready for its intended use. Write down this line, it is very important. If asset takes a substantial time to get ready for its intended use, if asset takes a substantial time to get ready for its intended use, if asset takes a substantial time. Now, what is substantial time? It is 12 months. It is not given in accounting standard, but it is given in the guidance note. Where is it given? Guidance note. Yes, beta Janki, now you are correct. Necessary takes a substantial time to get ready for its intended use. This is known as qualifying asset. Example of this: manufacturing plants, power generation facilities, inventory, that wine example, inventory that requires a substantial time to get ready for its in the sellable condition. So these are some example. Investment properties always also takes some time, and in that case that interest will be yes, qualified for the capitalization. Or if it is ready to use directly, it is not qualifying asset. Okay, so if you are routinely manufacturing it, routinely for 5 days, 6 days, your inventory becomes ready, that is not the qualifying asset. So this is the example, and substantial period is 12 months. Substantial period is 12 months. No, beta, it is very easy, Bhagyashri. Borrowing cost concept is very easy. Beta, don't worry. Just watch this session again and again. That local currency, yes, but obvious, that is the difficult part. Yeah, this is a CA course, so sometimes you may find it's difficult. So in that case, practice it. It's very simple. It is not possible for me to tell you each and every concept. I am telling it in the detail. I prepared my own format, and still if you are not getting it, you have to revise it properly. बेटा दुनिया में सब easy नहीं मिलेगा. This is a CA course. Don't worry, beta. If you read it properly, Bhagyashri, You'll understand it. Write down. Nandishwaram, please don't read this pronouncement book. It is ultimately the accounting standard in difficult way. And we made it very simple in our study material. So if you want to read pronouncement, yes, first become a chartered accountant and then read it. You'll understand afterwards. Now this exam is important for you. And for that, you have to understand it in my way only, in concept book. Yes, beta, completed. So what is substantial period? Whether it is given in the accounting standard or guidance note? Very good. It is given in the guidance note. Accounting standard does not mention that 12 months is a substantial period. You may consider 3 months also as a substantial, depend on situation to situation. So that's why they have given 12 months. You consider it as a substantial period. Yes, thank you, Radha. Your presentation is very helpful on exchange difference. Okay, Amir. So now let's move to next concept. So now what is the treatment? So concept number 4, write down treatment of borrowing cost. Treatment of borrowing cost. Now what is the treatment of borrowing cost, beta? Understand this. Treatment if it is a qualifying asset or others. So I already explained you, if it is a qualifying asset, you will capitalize. Other capitalize means add it in the asset, and others revenue expenditure, you will transfer it to profit and loss account. It's very simple. No, beta Janki, it will not take a lot of time to convert gold or into ornaments. And remember, this is not the asset. Then in that case, it is inventory, and this inventory definitely will not take more than 12 months beta. So substantial time you have to check, and it is based on case to case. So don't create many confusing examples. So Janki, just focus on your study. I will tell you in exam types of question, but in real life, definitely there are many situations. Yes, Janki, but still you are correct. But remember, this is not the qualifying asset. Have written treatment of borrowing costs. So we have completed with the concept number 4, and this is very important. On qualifying asset, the interest will be capitalized, and on other assets, it is transferred to profit and loss account. It's very simple. Now we have to solve one small illustration, which is number 1. So come to illustration number 1. Yes. I'm giving you exactly 3 minutes to solve this illustration. No, Kush, definitely our class is not going to complete it before 17 March, but because of time problem, yes, I will take only small topics in this session live, and in recorded sessions, I will give you concepts for other chapters. So don't worry, beta. Kush, I will take care. Yes, Kirtana. I will definitely will take care. She is telling sir one request, please keep drinking water because it is going to be a summer and आप continuously lecture लेते हो. Thank you beta, showing so much concern. Yes, Piyush, first time he answered. Yes, beta, you are correct. Only construction of shed is the qualifying asset. Now, how to write the answer in exam? Write down. How to present this? Write down the answer in exam. So write down columns. ILU 1, ILU 1, illustration 1. Beta Keshav, I can understand that all topics in live session I requested to Board of Studies also, but problem is that students have lecture in May, and problem is that we have to cover 4 subjects, and costing and direct tax are not yet started. And remember, ultimately we are also incurring a huge cost for it, and we are giving it a free of cost. So you have to understand that we have to complete it within time also, and there are always problems. We are improving on it because this is only second session, sorry, second batch of virtual coaching classes, and these are free of cost. So beta, sometimes we have to wait, and accordingly to follow Board of Studies direction also. And definitely I will take some sessions in live batch only, but I have to take a permission because your other subjects are not yet started, direct tax and costing. So next time we will make a proper plan. Okay. So how to present this? Calculation of borrowing cost to be capitalized. Serial number, particular competition, rupees in lakhs. Write down. Number one, qualifying asset. So which is the qualifying asset in this case? Very good, beta. You can write construction of shed. On next line, you can write, I don't have space. So construction of shed is the qualifying asset. What is the amount, beta? Given, competition given. Yes, figures in lakhs. You already written figures in lakhs. It is 50. Roman 2. Roman 2. Beta, total asset. Total asset. Yes, given. So what is given? Otherwise, you can take a total 50. Yes. No, you can write here 50 plus 40 plus 20 plus 10. What is the total amount, beta? 120. Roman 3. Interest charge given. Interest charge given 18 lakhs. Okay. Roman 4, interest on qualifying asset, interest on qualifying asset, so this is Roman 1 divided by Roman 2 into Roman 3. Roman 1 is 50 upon 120. So this is a proportionate share of qualifying asset in interest. So 50 upon 120 into 18. 7.5. And interest debited to P&L. Debited to P&L. Roman 3 is the total interest. Out of that, you will capitalize 7.5. So remaining balance is 10.5. So remaining balance, you will capitalize it. Easy? Yes. So we have completed with the illustration number 1. Now we'll start with illustration number 2. After treatment of borrowing cost, next concept, types of borrowings. Now this is something which is very, very important, on which you have a problem. Okay. So types of borrowing, write down. Types of borrowing. Concept number 5. Concept number 5. So write down, borrowing cost, we will divide it in 2 parts. One is specific borrowing and one is general borrowing. So specific borrowing, once again, we will divide it in 3 parts. What is the purpose? Now specific borrowing means you have specifically borrowed only for that qualifying asset. For example, suppose if I borrowed for construction of shade rupees 3 lakhs, that is a specific borrowing. So specific borrowing purpose is always to obtain qualifying asset. You can directly identify the borrowing cost with specific borrowing. So that asset is only, we finance it from specific borrowing. And third one, if funds are temporarily invested, because if I'm not in need, I have sanctioned a loan. Loan is disbursed by the bank, but suppose assume loan disbursed is 10 lakhs and I used only 3 lakhs and and 7 lakhs I have a surplus, and that surplus funds I have invested in the temporary investment like treasury bonds or anything, means it's like bonds or debentures, or it might be a shares, and I received some amount surplus from it. That surplus is deducted from asset. Remember, this surplus is not credited as income, but it is, because interest is added, then surplus is deducted. Logic is very simple. If interest you added it in the qualifying asset, then suppose if you are investing it outside, that surplus will be deducted. So deducted from the asset. Okay. Thank you, Agresh. Presentations are very, very important, beta, to score good marks, to get exemption. And that is how I prepared myself from last 10 to 12 years, because I want each and every student, they must write it in the clean and neat way. So yes, presentations are always important. Write down the specific borrowings. मुझे समझ में नहीं आता जो डिसलाइक करते हैं वो लोग, क्या मतलब हम लोग इतना फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट दे रहे, मैं क्या चार्जेस भी नहीं ले रहे, और इतना भी खराब नहीं पढ़ाता हूँ, क्यों इतना जलन होता है, बुरा लगता है, मतलब आप क्या इतना आपको डिसलाइक करने जैसा कमेंट सेक्शन में दो। क्या बुरा लगा आपको हमारे बारे में? एक तो अच्छी एक्टिविटी कर रहे फॉर स्टूडेंट्स, फिर भी डिसलाइक करते हो। कोई बात नहीं, भगवान आपका भी भला करे। नहीं समझ में आता है, ठीक है, इससे और बेहतरीन क्या समझाए। चलो, सो लेट्स स्टार्ट। So borrowing costs, there are two borrowings. One is specifically for that purpose. मैं हिंदी में एक बार बता देता हूँ। टाइप्स ऑफ बोरोइंग में मैंने आपको समझाया। स्पेसिफिक बोरोइंग क्या होता है? स्पेसिफिक बोरोइंग मतलब आपने उसी एसेट के लिए, आपने वही पर्पस के लिए बोरो किया, तो उसको हम लोग स्पेसिफिक बोरोइंग बोलते हैं। एंड जनरल बोरोइंग क्या होता है? जनरल बोरोइंग मतलब मैं ओवरऑल लोन तो ले लूंगा, पर यूटिलाइज कैसे करना है दैट आई विल डिसाइड। मतलब मैं शेड के लिए यूज करूं, प्लांट एंड मशीनरी के लिए यूज करूं, या बिल्डिंग के लिए यूज करूं, या मैं बिजनेस पर्पस के लिए, वर्किंग कैपिटल के लिए यूज करूं, दैट इज द जनरल बोरिंग। सो यूज इज नॉट अ स्पेसिफिक। ओके, आई विल यूज दैट लोन for multiple purpose. Yes, in that case it will be called as general borrowing. Yes beta, so borrowing cost, specific borrowing and general borrowing. Okay, next, if general borrowing, because now listen, this concept is very very important, because there is minimum 8 marks ka question on this concept, general borrowing and specific borrowing. So general borrowing is no direct relationship with qualifying asset. Apply capitalization rate. Now what is WAC? WAC is weighted average cost of capital. I will explain you weighted average cost of capital, because WAC in financial management there is KD, KE, KP, KE, KS. KD is interest into 1 minus T divided by NP. KE, there are 4 approaches. D1 upon P0 plus G with growth, without growth होगा तो D1 upon P0 earning approach, earning upon P0 plus G, CAPM RF plus beta into RM minus RF, and realized yield approach is D1 plus P1 minus P0 upon P0. So there are 4 approaches for earning. If redeemable, there is a formula interest into 1 minus T plus RV minus NP upon NP divided by RV plus NP upon 2. कुछ नहीं समझा सर, ठीक है, and KP होगा तो KP में there are only redeemable, irredeemable, PD into 1 minus, there is no PD upon NP, and PD plus RV minus NP upon N divided by RV plus NP upon 2. नहीं समझा, चलो छोड़ दो. Okay, so that is in the financial management. Okay, so financial management, I'm not going to take it, just only for understanding purpose. So in that we calculate overall cost of capital, weighted average cost of capital, and that weighted average cost of capital, we apply the capitalization rate. Now why it is weighted average capital? I will tell you the logic, what is the simple average and what is the weighted average. Wait. And here borrowing cost is capitalized is less than amount of borrowing cost incurred. Okay, so remember, borrowing cost capitalized is less than amount of borrowing cost. I will tell you this example in the form of example. Okay, so just write it general borrowing, and then we will see. Okay, Bhavya is saying, sir, I haven't any time disliked, but always liked it. But maybe that spoon feeding people, or maybe ego, that why they didn't see our comments. Maybe that people dislike it. Okay, no problem, beta. Sir, your lecture is best, Drushti. Khush is saying, sir, no, sir, it's too much good, and having live classes is not easy task with this good quality, so it's too good. And Atik is saying directly me, Bhaiya, your teaching was excellent. Regards, Atik. Yes, Atik. Okay. चलो कोई तो भैया बोला एट द एंड. सर सर सुन के. ओके चलो बेटा, यू आर ऑल्सो माई भैया आतिक जी. General borrowings, no problem. Debajani from Puri. I am late today, sir. No problem, beta. Come fast. So general borrowings, yes. On this, we are going to solve the question. Now, weighted average cost of capital, I will explain it within 1 minute. Okay, so what is weighted average cost of capital? Why it is weighted average? Remember, suppose if I borrowed 100 rupees at the rate of 10%, and if I borrowed 200 rupees at the rate of 15%. After 1 year, this is my option number 1. This is my source number 1. This is source. This is the loan amount. This is a cost of interest. And this is interest. But a weighted average. Now, why it is weighted? Logic I am going to tell you. 100, 10 rupees. 200 into 15%, this is 30 rupees. Correct? Hai? So total amount is beta 40 I am spending on it. Okay. $40 divided by 300. So this is a total interest. And what is the total source is cost for me. 300. Total source. So on 300, you are paying 40 rupees. Is my cost, total cost. So what is the amount? 13.33%. Beta, now you can see weight is towards 15% and not towards 10%. Because higher weight is in source 2. You are borrowing 200 rupees. If it is a simple average, your answer will be 12.5%. If it is a simple average, but you are getting answer more than 12.5 because your weight is towards 200 rupees. And for 200, cost is 15%. So answer is near to 15%. Remember, if you take ulta situation, reverse situation, that suppose 1, 2, your answer is more towards 10%. Assume first source 200 and second source 100 for 10% and for 15%. So 200 into 10%, 20, 100 into 15%, 15. So your total cost is 35. 35 upon 300. Take on calci. 35 upon 300. Answer is 11.67. Now answer is more towards 10% because weight is more towards 200. 200 is more at 10%. So beta 200 रुपया ये 10% से था, 100 रुपया 15% से था. इफ सिंपल एवरेज लेता हूं तो 12.5% आएगा, 12.5%. बट यदि मेरा वेट जो 200 रुपीज ये ज्यादा वेट है, जो 10% के टूवर्ड झुका हुआ है, तो आंसर 12.5 से कम आएगा, 10% के पास आएगा. और यदि मेरा उल्टा प्रोपोर्शन था, झुका हुआ 200 के पास ज्यादा था, 15%, तो आंसर इज 13.33%. इफ आई एम गेटिंग सिंपल एवरेज एट 12.5%, so here I never consider simple average. I will always consider weighted average. So you have to see where is weight. Weight is more towards 15%, and that's why it is 13.33. Think logically. Think logically. Where simple average I won't consider, I will consider always weighted average. So my cost is not 10% and not 15, not even 12.5. It will be 13.33 in case of weighted average. Okay. Next one. I hope you understood what is the weighted average. Now I'm giving you 10 minutes time. Not 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Why? Because I will take a break and 5 minutes for your thinking. So I want every one of you, please solve illustration number 2. At least read illustration number 2. This is a big illustration. Those students who can solve it within 5 minutes, you don't have a break. But here I am giving you exactly 5 minutes for thinking and more 5 minutes for break purpose. So total you, if you can't solve within 5 minutes, you don't have to take a break. So I'm giving you exactly 10 minutes, 5 minutes for solving and 5 minutes for break. Okay, so here, okay beta, solve it fast. So I will come back on 8:26. This is not a break time. Screen pe chalu rahega. Question will be there on screen only. You have to tell me amount exactly at 8:26. Sham Sundar is telling, sir, you are great, sir. You are also revising FM. Thank you, beta. Shoaib is saying, sir, teaching is excellent. Thank you. We will also get exemption in FM if you teach. Kesho is saying, no, beta, there are some rules. Nandishwaram, even though private institute collects money in lakhs, these classes are best when compared to those. Thank you, beta. Yes, Bhavyaji, thank you. Acha, Mrunal is saying, sir, I have used this method for so many times from foundation. Today I got to know what is the logic of weighted average. Thank you, beta. Thank you. Surya is saying these classes give me a great hope, sir. Who dislike just dash 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 dash. Yes, Janki. Specific loan is 1 lakh. Last 1 minute. So last 1 minute beta. I know you have not taken a break, but can't help today. I have to complete S16. And today I'm going to revise all accounting standards from S2 because this is the last lecture on accounting standard. So in next session, I'm going to start with the investment chapter. One more important point, ICAI has given me 2 chapters for advanced accounts also. One is ESOP. So those students who are giving second group also, or please tell your friends to commit in the live session on Monday in the morning. That employee stock option plan, and next session will be on next Monday for buybacks. So ICAI has allotted me 2 sessions of advanced accounts also. So I'm going to take this advanced account session in next on Monday, and this is a time for your Saturday Sunday to revise your all accounting standard. If time permits, we will take today that branch account ka one more problem, that non-integral of foreign operation or integral foreign operation. One problem is remaining, that conversion of monetary item and non-monetary. It's very easy actually. So I will take that question. Okay. Bhavya, अरे बेटा कितना बड़ा आंसर. Okay, so I will tell you, all of you have calculated this, but definitely how to present this answer step by step we are going to understand. So now let's start with the session. Once again, X Limited began a construction of new building on 1st January 2001. So on 1st January 2001, X Limited began a construction. इधर दे दे, रख इधर. Okay. Yes. Now, इधर रख इधर. It obtained 1 lakh rupees special loan. So special loan is special borrowing, specific borrowing. Okay, so 1 lakh. Yes, beta, I know accounting standard 3 and 13 are remaining, but this accounting standard itself, they are topics. Okay, so don't worry. No, beta, this question, Hansika ji, is not very easy. I am telling you. Why? Because date of borrowings are not given. Sometimes they may give you date of borrowing also. Now we will assume this date of borrowing from the first day. So though this problem is easy, you have to understand the presentation, because they may ask you equivalent concept for date of borrowing. If they give you date of borrowing, in that case it will be a difficult one. So understand my presentation properly. Though you think it's very easy by understanding the answer, but we have to present it in the proper way. We will take only one illustration, because such illustrations they may ask you in exam by giving a date of loan. So interest rate is 10%. Okay. So interest rate is 10%. The expenditures on different dates are given. I hope everyone has understood the problem. Now we will see what is the presentation. So come to presentation part. Write down. First one, what is asking the question? Total expenses to be capitalized. So write down the answer. Total expenses to be capitalized for borrowing as per S16. So write down serial number, particulars, computation, rupees. Write down this. Yes, beta Vignesh, I already told you these are 2 separate topics, cash flow statement and investment account. So in next session, we are starting with the investment chapter, investment accounting. Okay, Vishnuji, thank you. And thank you, ICAI, for giving me 2 chapters for advanced accounts. Yes. So Vishnuji is saying that thank you ICI for providing Sanket sir for advanced accounting session. And I'm also thankful to ICI for giving me 2 chapters. Okay. Yes, beta. Ayush from Pune. Sir, your lectures are amazing and I have backlog. So beta, please complete your backlog first. Okay. So total expenses to be capitalized for borrowing as per A16. Have you written? Roman 1. Write down Roman 1. What is the cost of plant? Write down cost of plant. So cost of, I think this is a plant and machinery only. No, cost of building. Sorry, cost of building. Cost of building. Yes, write down 2 plus 250 plus 450 plus 120. 2 lakhs plus 2,50,000 plus 4,50,000 plus 1,20,000. So what is the cost of building beta? Fast 10,20,000. Correct? And Roman 2, interest to be capitalized. Interest to be capitalized. This is working note number 1. Roman 3, total amount to be capitalized. Now write down fast 1 plus 2. 1 plus 2. Again, you have to prepare one table. Now working note 1 we want. So this is step by step presentation. Working note 1, interest to be capitalized. Write down interest to be capitalized. बीवी तो चाय देती नहीं, बेचारा ऑफिस का पर्सन चाय देता है सुबह सुबह ब्रांच में, पुणे ब्रांच में. Thank you, Pune branch, for providing me a good office boy as compared to wife. चाय का मजा और ही होता है. चलो, interest to be capitalized. Roman 1. Now you have interest on specific borrowing beta. On specific borrowing. Number 1. So 1 lakh is your loan amount into 10%. As you read it, 1 lakh into 10%. So this is a specific borrowing. 10,000 beta, correct? And second one, on non-specific borrowing or on general borrowing, you can write general borrowing. Yes, that is more correct word. On general borrowing. So how to calculate this? Write down below that. Remaining accumulated expenses into WACC. Into WACC, weighted average cost of capital. So remaining accumulated expenses yes, Vignesh. I also hope my wife will never see such lectures. So remaining accumulated expenses multiplied by WACC. Remember, now this remaining accumulated expenses or borrowings, whichever is lower, Remember, if my interest cost is less than my accumulated expenses, then in that case, that amount has to be capitalized is based on borrowing. अरे समझ ले बेटा, it's very easy. Suppose my expenses are 10 lakhs and my borrowing is only 8 lakhs. In that case, I will consider only 8 lakhs to be capitalized on 8 lakhs interest amount. Now here, first you have to check. Now my expenses, total expenses tell me 10 lakh 50,000. 10 lakh, okay, sorry, 10 lakh 20,000. And my total borrowing is 14 lakhs. So I will consider 10 lakh 20,000. Here my accumulated expenses are lower. But remember, ICAI may give you borrowings which is less than accumulated expenses. In that case, you won't consider 10 lakh 20,000. You will consider borrowings. Sir, ये तो ध्यान ही नहीं दिया था. We are not thought for this 14 lakhs and 10 lakh 20,000. Now you understood. So compare with borrowings. Compare with borrowings. Remember, you can write it by red pen here only. On general borrowing, so remaining accumulated expenses or borrowings, whichever is lower here or whichever is lower. Okay. कीर्तना जी कितनी बार भेजोगे? 2 चैप्टर्स फ्रॉम ग्रुप 2, जीवन धन्य हो गया. अरे बेटा ठीक है, थैंक यू कीर्तना जी. ओके, सो ऑन जनरल बोरोइंग्स, or accumulated expenses, whichever is lower. But remember, here write it by red pen. You won't consider accumulated expenses. You will consider equivalent accumulated expenses. Because your accumulated expenses are not on the same day. So here, for this, I will need working note number 2. Average accumulated expenses, and after that I will need weighted average cost of capital mein weighted average cost of capital working note number 3. So write down for working note number 2. Students are finding this problem is very easy by looking into answer, but they never think that borrowing is on the first day. In exam you may get the question where borrowings on different dates. In that case, my method is useful. My method is useful. Okay. I hope you understood this. Now prepare column average accumulated expenses. Write down it properly. Average accumulated expenses. Average accumulated expenses. Write down this. So those students who are finding it very easy, now they understood. It is not easy at all because you have never think for borrowings. Correct? Have you think? No. Okay. Average accumulated expenses. Please prepare this column: serial number, particulars, amount, equivalent months up to 31st December, and after that accumulated expenses. So I have already prepared these columns. So now we are calculating equivalent accumulated expenses. So these accumulated expenses are equivalent. Chalo. Roman 1, Roman 2, Roman 3, Roman 4. Better first we have to understand what is asked in the exam. And then we can link it with working notes. So Janki is asking, sir, should we write answer first followed by working note or vice versa? So better, yes, definitely. Remember, format is not important. It is my style of presentation. Normally, I first consider what is asked in the exam and then I link it with working notes. In exam, yes, you can start with working notes and finally you can give the answer. Okay, so formats are not important. This is my style of teaching. First, I prepare what is about. First, I prepare what is asked in the question, and then I linked it with working notes. Okay, I hope you understood it. So presentation, yes, final answer is important. Presentation, yes, it matters, but sometimes you can prepare it in own format. Final answer must be same. Okay. So Jan, then next one is in April, July, and December. But what is the amount? 2 lakhs, 2 lakh 50,000, 4 lakh 50,000, 1 lakh 20,000. So beta Yash, you have to tell me all working notes also, the format of working notes. You have to take a revision of this problem. So be prepared for it. 12 by 12, 9 by 12, 6 by 12, and 1 by 12. Or beta, can you tell this? Kimaya, you will tell the format today. Okay, only format you have to tell. Yes, now Jan means up to 31st December, 12 months are remaining. From April to December, 9 months, July to December, 6 months, and December to December, 1 month. So I will calculate now, multiply 2 lakhs into 12 by 12, it is 2 lakhs. 2 lakh 50,000, you can use memory plus ka function. Then you have 2 lakh 50,000 into 9 by 12, memory plus. Beta, how much? 187,500. Yes, I'm getting the same answer. I'm using memory plus ka function. 4 lakh 50,000 divided by 2, memory plus 2 lakh 25,000, and last one is 1 lakh 20,000 divided by 12, memory plus 10,000. So final answer is memory recall 622,500. Yes. So I'm getting 622,500. And now I want weighted average rate. Here also, as dates are not given, suppose in exam, if dates are given, use my format for borrowing also. So remember, that's why I prepared this format. If dates are given in the question, they might give you a different problem based on dates of borrowing. So use this format, interest rate on general borrowing. Prepare it properly. Serial number, particulars, amount, equivalent months up to 31st December. So same format. Here you have equivalent loan, then you have interest rate, and then you have interest amount. So 2 more columns, interest rate and interest amount at the end. So here also you will consider equivalent loan amount beta. What you will consider? Equivalent loan amount. I hope all of you are getting this. Agresh, if different dates of borrowings are given, use this format. Use this format. Equivalent months up to 31st December. So you'll get your answer. Yes, you asked it. Sir, if different dates are given, then what will be the format? So this is a specific format which is applicable for all problems in which dates are given, if borrowing dates are given. Now ICAI has given you a very simple question without having dates of borrowings, and many students, they are not aware if dates or borrowings are given in the question, how to present the answer. And that's why I have made a consistent format which is useful in all problems. Okay. So beta, serial number 1 and 2. Yes, now tell me, both months are Jan only. What is the first amount? 5 lakhs and 9 lakhs. Now this column is useful when dates are given. But here it is 12 by 12, 12 by 12. So equivalent loan is also 5 lakhs and 9 lakhs. Interest rate 11% and 13%. So in one question only I have given you the format if dates are given. And remember, now 5 lakhs and 9 lakhs. Now my thinking process, try to understand my thinking process. 5 lakhs and 9 lakhs, if you take 11% and 13%, average is 12%. Now weight is towards 9 lakhs, that is 13%. So your answer will be more than 12%. That is my thinking process. ओके सो वेटेड एवरेज कॉन्सेप्ट यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड. बेटा ये समझ ले, हिंदी में बता रहा हूं कि 5,11% से 9,13% से तो आंसर बीच में 12% सिंपल एवरेज है, पर आंसर झुका है 9 लाख के टूवर्ड्स, 9 लाख के टूवर्ड्स, जिसमें 13% इंटरेस्ट रेट है. तो ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट कहां पे झुका है? 9 लाख. तो आंसर इज ग्रेटर देन 12%, 13% के पास झुकेगा. सो दैट इज द वेटेड एवरेज कॉन्सेप्ट. ओके, आई होप यू अंडरस्टूड इट. कितना आ रहा था फाइनल आंसर? इट इज 55,000, 1,17,000. So total is 1,72,000 and consider equivalent loan amount 14 lakhs. So what is the interest amount? I already told you it is more than 12%. It is more than 12%. I already told you. So 1,72,000 divided by 14 lakhs. So tell me percentage. 12.28. Yes, use up to 4 digits. Yes, no, don't worry. Use up to 4 digits, beta. 12.2857%. Now I will multiply this amount 12.2857%. So 622,500, 12.2857%. So giving linking is very easy. Wait. Now out of this 622,500, you are wrong here. 1 lakh is specific. This is write it by red pen. And 522,500 will be general. So you will consider only 522,500. You will consider only 522,500. So divide it over there only. 622,500. 1 lakh is specific and 522,500 is general. So 522,500 into 64,193. And now take a total. Write it by red pen, beta. Total interest to be capitalized, Roman 3. Interest to be capitalized, 1 plus 2, 74,193. सालों लग गए ये मेहनत करने को. पूरा फॉर्मेट इजी वे में बताना. It takes a lot of time. And this format is useful for all questions of Accounting Standard 16 for general borrowings. 74,193. Beta, you are understanding only that PPT is giving is a very neat and clean way. Presentation are very easy, but it takes a lot of time, beta. 74,193. I hope you got the answer. So 74,193 is the total amount. Now next one is write down building account debit. So what is the entry? They ask you the entry also. So entry will be on last date, building account debit to bank 1094. Yes, you have to write it. ये ऊपर लिखना रहेगा. So you will write it in the 74,193 above. So 1094,193. 1094,193 interest to be capitalized, and after that you will pass the entry 10,94,193. 1094,193. We have taken 4 digits, so our answer is more accurate as compared to ICAI answer. Okay, got the answer? Tell me in the comment section fast. You understood the format? Beta, come fast. You have to tell me a full format. Come fast. Serial number, particular competition, rupees, cost of building, interest to be capitalized, total amount to be capitalized. Interest to be capitalized, in that you have on specific borrowing, it is under working note 1. So on specific borrowing, on general borrowing, you have interest to be capitalized. Then after, for general borrowing, you need average accumulated expenses. So format will be serial number, particulars, amount, equivalent months, and then accumulated expenses. And last one, interest rate on general borrowing, format will be serial number, particulars, amount, equivalent months up to 31st December, equivalent loan, interest rate, interest amount. If you recall the format in exam, it is very easy to present the answer. It is very easy. Okay. Okay. So yes, हो गया? I will help you out also, beta. So don't worry. Okay. Take 1 minute. No need to worry. Take 1 minute. Don't be in hurry. All students, please try to learn the format. How we have presented is. I want every one of you, please read the format thoroughly and try to recall the format, because this is 8 marks question. Chalo, yes, आ रहा है. Mehak is not, sorry, not Mehak, Kimaya is not confident.
Yes. So first is a main answer. So we have to total expenses to be capitalized is the first table. Is serial number, particulars, computation, rupees. Then second working note is interest to be capitalized. Serial number.
Total expenses to be capitalized में क्या आएगा?
Total expenses to be capitalized. First is expenditure that we incurred, cost of the building, and then interest is to be capitalized, and then we get total cost.
Yes.
Yes. So then we have to find interest to be capitalized. It includes 2 interests on specific borrowings and on general borrowings.
Okay.
So on specific borrowings, it is given.
Yes.
That is 1 lakh into 10%, and on specific borrowing, general borrowings, we have to find it is accumulated expenses into WAC.
So accumulated expenses you will get into working note.
In working note 2,
and
WAC you will get in working note 3.
Very good, very good. So columns.
So columns in accumulated expenses is serial number, particulars, amount, equivalent months up to 31st December, and equivalent amount, accumulated expenses.
Correct.
Okay, and then for WAC, it is serial number, particulars, amount, then equivalent number of months, borrowing amount, and equivalent number of months, and then we get equivalent loan. Then we have to find then we have interest rate and multiplied by the amount.
And then you will divide interest amount.
Total interest divided by total equivalent loan.
Very good, beta. Very good, Yash. छा गए आप. Okay. Beta, more practice question you can do it from CA final old course, beta. Old course CA final Agresh, you do a proper exercise, because we have, I will clear your all concepts, but for more questions you need to read CA final study material. Only questions, practice manual or past CA final exam question, very important. Yes, for students like Yash and for them I can take a revision, but in online it is very difficult for me to take revision plus to give extra questions. So please, you have to do it by own. Okay, so we have completed illustration number 2. Now let's move to next concept. Next concept, when to start the capitalization. Now we are, yes, all important adjustments we already completed. Now just 3 parts are remaining, that is commencement, suspension, and cessation. So understand, it's the first chapter only, old CA final question. Commencement of capitalization. Commencement of capitalization. This is concept number 6. Write down concept number 6. commencement of capitalization. Commencement means to start. So when you will start with the capitalization process, means when you start interest to be capitalized. So beta, basically when we'll start for the capitalization, yes, think logically, when we acquire the asset or we acquired a loan. So both important, and only to acquisition is not important. You have started with activities. So where you incur expenses is important, because without incurring expenses, if you borrow only, it is no, there is no asset which is created. So first one, you should incur expenses. Second one, you must have borrowed something, and third one, activities are already started. So this is very important. Okay, so all three conditions must be fulfilled. Expenditure is incurred, logical hai, it's very logical that you incur expenditure. Second one, you borrowed funds, that is also important. Only expenditure incurred is not important, because we are capitalizing interest. And third one, activities necessary to make asset ready are in progress. So all these conditions are important. And remember, if you start with the technical and administrative work prior to physical construction is also important. That your engineer is coming on the site, or there is administration work which is going on. These are also some activities which are necessary to make the asset ready. So remember this. Okay. Okay. So beta, all the following conditions must be fulfilled. Yes, very easy. Okay. So all the following conditions must be satisfied. Have you written this concept number 6? Remember, sometimes I'm giving you different formats, and these formats are very, very important for solving purpose. So try to follow my formats. So beta, while commencement, remember expenditure on qualifying asset, this includes the payment of cash. Means you are paying in the cash, or you may transfer. If you remember, if I transfer asset also, it has some value in accounting standard 10, that commercial substance and all. If you remember these points, that commercial substance means you are transferring asset on that. And even you may pay some debentures, you may issue some debentures. And remember, these expenditures, definitely you will reduce these payments if you are getting any government grant. Okay, so all standards are interrelated. Okay, the average carrying amount of the asset, it includes borrowing cost previously capitalized. And remember, you have to apply approx weighted average cost of capital rate, like 4 digits का लगाया था ना हमने. Similarly, second one is borrowing cost. So this is expenditure which is incurred, that I already told you. You must borrow, and remember, you must start with some activities prior to commencement. This administration and even this these technical activities, though your asset is not yet ready, but at least show that you have started with some activities. Okay, so here, this is the last part of commencement. And remember, all these three activities are important. Now today you have to read it from your study material, all detail mein. Commencement of capitalization. I hope you understood what is the commencement. Now, suspension. Now next concept is suspension of capitalization. Suspension means temporary cessation. You are not permanently stop it. but you are suspending the activity for some days, some months. And in that case, when you are suspending the activity, that is a temporary delay. And that temporary delay, in that case, if your meter is not going to stop, interest ka meter chalu rahega. Yes, now you suspended the activity. It doesn't mean that bank has to stop their interest. So that meter is already started. And that interest, you will debit it to profit and loss account. So suspension means a temporary delay. Got the concept? So this is concept number 7. Write down: suspended when active development is interrupted. When active development is interrupted. Write down. When active development is interrupted, it is suspension. So cessation means permanently stop the activity. That is the cessation. Permanently stop means your asset is ready to use now. You won't suspend it, but you will seize it. That is a permanently. And suspension means a temporary. Temporary cessation or temporary stop. You can tell like temporary stop the activity. So in that case, when active development is interrupted, it is known as suspension. But remember, beta, if you stop when technical and administrative work is going out, means that activity stop because you have to check first whether your administration work is going on. In that case, it is not cessation. Means your construction of shed, you stop the activity. Why? Because technical person will come and he will first see whether all activities are going in the proper way, and therefore you stop your construction construction of shed. So beta, that is not the suspension. That is your activities yet started, yes, is continued. And in that case, that interest, if administration and technical work is going on, in that case, definitely your interest will be capitalized. And sometimes, beta, this may happen. Suppose if you are constructing a bridge and water level, now suppose it's a time of rain. In case of rainy season, your water level is increased and therefore you stop the activity. So that is not the suspension. यदि बारिश हो रहा है और कंस्ट्रक्शन ब्रिज का चल रहा है और आपने थोड़े दिन के लिए पॉज ले लिया, भाई ये जो वाटर लेवल है वो बहुत हाई हो चुका है, बेटा काम कैसे करेंगे वो पानी में, तो वो सस्पेंशन नहीं है. तो वो मीटर इंटरेस्ट का चालू तो रहेगा और इंटरेस्ट कैपिटलाइज ही करते रहना है. सो दैट इज नॉट सस्पेंड. सस्पेंड मींस इंटरेस्ट ट्रांसफर टू P&L. Interest transferred to P&L. And not suspended means interest is capitalized. You can write this. Interest is capitalized. Temporary delay, necessary part. If temporary delay is a necessary part, for example, construction of bridge. Example, high water level delays big bridge construction. और इवन आपको पता होगा वो सीमेंट थोड़ा गाढ़ा होने के लिए, मतलब वो फिक्स होने के लिए हम लोग पानी मारते हैं इन बिल्डिंग कंस्ट्रक्शन. तो वो भी जो हम लोग पानी मारते हैं, दैट इज ऑल्सो इट्स अ डिले. तब बिल्डिंग ऑफ कंस्ट्रक्शन थोड़ा स्टॉप हो जाता है. जब स्लैब डालने के बाद आरसीसी में आपने कभी देखा होगा वाटर डालते हैं वो लोग, तो दैट इज अ टेम्पररी डिले. दैट इज अ टेम्पररी डिले. But after asset is ready for use, definitely you are going to seize, Janki, your interest. That interest ka meter will be debited to P&L account. You are asking only cessation, Janki. So please keep some patience. You are correct. So if after getting a loan and you are ready with your asset and still loan is going on, so that interest you will debit to profit and loss account. It's very simple. It's very simple accounting standard, my friend. Okay. बेटा इंटरेस्टिंग है अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड. यस, डेफिनेटली. हैव यू रिटन टेम्पररी सस्पेंशन? Suspended means temporary stop, and your interest you will charge it to P&L, and it is not suspension. Some activities are running out. Suppose administration and technical work, though your activities stop, but some technical work is going on. In that case, you will capitalize your interest. You will capitalize your interest. Yes, that is a suspension. Suspension. And now last part is a cessation. Now we are moving to last part. Cessation. Janki is your answer. So in following cases, when all activities are completed, now asset is ready to use, Ray, some only renovation, suppose a painting work is going on that asset. Construction, already we have constructed a shed, and only painting work is going on, means your asset is always is ready to use. Substantially all activities are completed, and construction is completed in parts. Now suppose you have different buildings, you have 10 buildings, and out of that 2 buildings are ready. It means for 2 buildings proportionate interest you will stop. Interest is going on, but you will debit it to profit and loss account for 2 buildings out of 10. Suppose if your total interest is 1 crore, out of that 2/10 will be debited to P&L, and 8/10 which is going on, that will be capitalized. So this is a construction which is completed in parts. Here सिर्फ डेकोरेशन इज गोइंग ऑन ऑफ अ प्रॉपर्टी. गणपति का सजावट होता है ना अपना, डेकोरेशन. गणपति लाया भाई हमने, बिठा दिया है, सजावट चल रही है. सो दैट डेको मीन्स गणपति ऑलरेडी लाया है. सो सब्सटेंशियली ऑल नेसेसरी एक्टिविटीज आर कंप्लीटेड. ओनली डेकोरेशन ऑफ प्रॉपर्टी इज गोइंग ऑन as per user specification, means asset is ready to use, and construction is completed in parts, a business park comprising of several buildings. So I already explained you 2/10 is interest that has to be debited to profit and loss account, and 8/10 interest you will capitalize it. Okay. Yes Shoaib, I already told you beta, suspension मतलब क्या होता है कि temporary delay बेटा. हम लोगों ने एक्टिविटी स्टॉप कर दिया, कुछ प्रॉब्लम से, लेबर काम पे नहीं आ रहे, तो वो केस में इंटरेस्ट का मीटर चालू होगा शोए, तो वो इंटरेस्ट P&L में जाएगा क्योंकि आपकी एक्टिविटी स्टॉप है. पर समटाइम्स आपकी एक्टिविटी स्टॉप इसलिए है कि सम टेक्निकल एंड एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन वर्किंग इज गोइंग ऑन, तो वो एक्टिविटी सस्पेंड नहीं है, तो वो इंटरेस्ट आप एसेट में ऐड करोगे. यदि पानी का लेवल बढ़ गया है तो ये बियॉन्ड योर कंट्रोल है, या आपको आरसीसी का आपने कॉन्ट्रैक्ट लिया है. आरसीसी मतलब वो सीमेंट स्लैब डालने का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, 1 2 3 4 स्लैब डालते हैं ना बेटा, तो उसको वो पानी मार के रखा है, इसलिए एक्टिविटी थोड़ी स्टॉप है. क्यों? क्योंकि वो सीमेंट को पूरा ऐसा घट्ट बोलते हैं हमारे में, गाढ़ा पकड़ना चाहिए वो सीमेंट प्रॉपर, तो इसलिए वो टेम्पररी एक्टिविटी बंद होती है. तो इन दैट केस इट इज नॉट टेम्पररी डिले, तो वो इंटरेस्ट आप कैपिटलाइज ही करोगे, वो नॉट सस्पेंडेड में आता है. यस आदिति, हमारा एस खत्म हो गया. सो आदिति इज टेलिंग सर हमारा एस खत्म हो गया. यस थैंक यू. ओके, so disclosure, what accounting policy we have adopted, that is a capitalization of interest, and what amount of borrowed cost is capitalized, that you have to give it in the policy notes to accounts, where you have to give this in notes to accounts, that borrowing cost. So these disclosures, how much interest you capitalize during the year, in your notes you can give this amount we have capitalized, and remaining amount we have charged to profit and loss account. Okay, so this is the disclosure. So today first I will call Fadke ma'am. I'm giving you 3 minutes. Up to first part you will tell, second part Yash will tell from commencement. Whole accounting standard. No, Yash take a break for some time. Fadke ma'am will tell today. Yes, Vignesh. Today I will give you some tips for accounting standard. Actually, due to shortage of time, I don't understand. I want to cover many questions. But now it's very difficult because we are getting only 16 days, and out of that 16 days, my lecture is of only 9 days. So little bit nervous bhi hu main, because I thought I will get minimum more 20 lectures. But due to other schedule, yes, ICAI has allotted me on not means only for this costing and direct tax purpose. They allotted me in the March 9 lectures only. So this is a very less time I got. So I will cover small topics. Why I'm not covering big topics? Because small topics will definitely give you full marks. These are scoring topics. And suppose if you think big topics are remaining, I will give it in the recorded session. If you have any query, you can give it your comment section. It's always open YouTube channel, because last time some YR students are making some faltu comments, and that's why they turned off it. But this time definitely, though you want to give YR comments, it's not proper comments, still we will open it, our comment section. And I think we are doing a CA course, so there are not donkeys who are doing this CA course. They are a good human being. They will do the CA course and they will properly behave in the class or in the comment section also. So please respect your faculties. They are taking a lot of efforts for you, and even board of studies. Sometimes they may go wrong. I'm not saying, and we are always thinking for the best stage, because to provide it at a free of cost is not a joke. So please try to understand. We have only 9 sessions. Next time we will get a good, definitely Vignesh is telling, sir, you should start this activity in the month of Jan only. Okay, but now it's delayed from our side because results, we are waiting for results, and after that we started, and that's why, yes, definitely delay was there. But those students who are from November, yes, definitely will take some action, proper action, and next time we will come with the 2 subjects daily. So that is the advice I will give to the ICAI Board of Studies, and definitely they will understand your concern also. So let's start with a revision of Accounting Standard 16. Aditi, almost module 1 is completed, almost. That Accounting Standard 13 and cash flow statement, yes, we'll take it. According to me, ICAI should give me minimum 30 sessions, 30 to 35 sessions, so that I will, yes, it is very, big pressure on us also. It's like India-England match. For first inning, 145 all out, like that. It's a pressure on us to complete one accounting standard in one day and to make your concepts thoroughly clear. It's very difficult, beta. So for these notes, it takes minimum 2 to 3 days to prepare it properly. Even I'm preparing it from last 10 years, but still to complete it within 1 to 1.5 hours and make each and every student comfortable and understandable the concept is very difficult. So try to understand. Sometimes we are getting, yes, we are in pressure also, and small topics I will definitely cover in the next 9 sessions, but big topics you have to keep, at least I will give you recorded sessions. So be with us for next time. Yes, Radha. Under disclosure, what accounting policies are adopted means whether borrowing cost is considered they as capitalized or they have debited it to profit and loss account, that they have to disclose in the policy, that we are following accounting standard 16. Okay, beta. Have you done with the accounting standard 16? Come here fast. I'm not going to ask you commencement, suspension, and cessation. That Yash will tell. You will tell me what is included and what is not included. Okay? Chalo. So let's start with revision of accounting standard 16. एंड प्लीज होल्ड माइक लाइक दिस, यहाँ पे रखना क्योंकि पिछले टाइम बच्चों को सुनाई नहीं गया था, वहां पे ध्यान देना वो पूरा आवाज आ रहा है क्या नहीं.
Meaning of borrowing cost. Borrowing cost are interest and other costs incurred in connection with borrowing funds. Borrowing costs are interest and other costs incurred in connection with borrowing of funds. Then inclusions, there are 5 inclusions. First, interest and commitment charges on borrowing. Second, amortization of discount or premium on borrowing. Third, amortization of ancillary cost relating to borrowing. Fourth, finance charges for asset acquired on finance lease. And fifth, exchange differences to the extent they are regarded as an adjustment to interest cost.
मैडम ऐसा इतना कैसे याद हो जाता है आपको, मतलब वर्ड टू वर्ड याद कर लेते हो, वेरी गुड वेरी गुड.
उसके बाद
Now that interest on foreign
हाँ,
currency.
interest on foreign currency borrowing. In that, interest on foreign currency borrowing plus exchange difference, if it is greater than interest on local currency borrowing, then difference is transferred to profit and loss account. And if it is less, difference will not arise.
Difference will not arise means you don't have to give any treatment for this if exchange loss is less. Okay. Then after that, what is qualifying asset?
Qualifying asset is necessarily take a substantial period of time to get ready for its intended use or sale. An example, manufacturing plant, power generation facility, investment property, and inventories that require substantial time to bring them to stable condition. Saleable condition.
Is ready for use.
Not qualifying asset.
Okay, beta, very good. So what is the treatment of borrowing cost?
Interest of qualifying asset transferred to capitalized and others
Is added in the asset.
added in the asset, and others, that is revenue expenditure, transferred to profit and loss.
What are the types of borrowings?
Specific borrowing and general borrowing. In specific borrowing, purpose to obtain a particular qualifying asset, borrowing cost is readily identifiable. And third, if funds temporarily invested, then deduct income earned from asset.
Okay, beta.
And general borrowing, no direct relationship with qualifying asset, apply capitalization rate, that is WACC, and borrowing cost capitalized is greater than amount of borrowing cost incurred. Less than.
Very good, very good. Commencement. Yash will tell suspension and cessation. Only Yash. Okay. No problem. It's very easy actually. There are 3 conditions only. So fantastic. I will tell. Yes, as it is, you answered it. As it is. Not a single word from here to there.
Yes, sir. So first, commencement of capitalization. So for the purpose, we have to satisfy all the following conditions. First condition is all the necessary activities required to get to asset ready are then borrowing cost incurred and expenditure which is incurred for the purpose of qualifying assets.
So all these 3 conditions are must. One is you must incur the expenditure on the qualifying asset. Second one, you should borrow a loan, and all related activities, you have started with the related activities and you are ready for it. Okay, beta, very good. So in case of suspension, can you tell me what is that activity means, beta? Activities means?
It may be
Technical and administration work which is carried on. Yes, beta, very good.
So suspension of capitalization. First, suspension means it is temporary cessation of capitalization of the borrowing cost. So suspension occurs when the active development is interrupted.
Very good.
But there are certain exceptions where the
So in case of suspension, you will debit your interest in P&L account. So you won't capitalize it. Very good. And not suspended means you will capitalize the interest. Okay.
Yes.
Very good.
So now cessation.
So no, not suspension. Not suspension.
So it is not suspension when the when technical work is going on or a temporary delay. So in such case, we have to continue the capitalization.
What is the example of temporary delay? What is the example of temporary delay?
Like rise in water level. Yes, rise in water level.
Okay. Last part.
Last is cessation of capitalization. It occurs when all the necessary activities to get the asset ready are completed, or where example
Decoration.
the decoration or finishing work.
Yes. Okay.
And when the construction is in parts, then one of the part is completed and others are in development.
Hmm.
In such case,
Proportion.
the proportionate borrowing cost is debited to P&L and the other is capitalized.
Okay. Very good, Yash. छा गया आप. Disclosure is very easy. Accounting policy that you adopted, and that is amount of borrowing cost can be capitalized. So students, how to study for accounting standard? I'm telling you, accounting standard will definitely having a marks of 20 to 25. And accounting standards are important from CA final view also. So if your basics are clear at this stage, because you have only accounting standard paper, I already told you that accounting standard in CA final you have of 100 marks, and Indes are definitely, it is coming out of accounting standards only, and we are also following Indes, which is based on base is always there is a same base. Only fair value and some policies are different, but if you understand it properly, so I've taken each and every accounting standard in very detail. Maintain my notebook properly, a concept book. It will definitely help you to get exemption. Solve other illustrations of, I will show you from where to copy it. So beta, I will show you where you'll get these accounting standards in detail. So if you come to our Google Board of Studies site, in case of student section, you go in Boss Knowledge portal, and in old scheme, you can see here, there is a old scheme is there. Old scheme, in that you have to click final accounts, final course, and in that paper number 1, financial reporting, study material and practice manual. Study material and practice manual. Okay, and in that you have, this is the last course, so January 2017 is the edition, and in that here you will get study material, and here it is a practice manual. So below practice manual you have chapter 1 accounting standards, and from this you can download this accounting standard, and from this you solve all illustrations, S2, S10, S11, S12 and S16, all these accounting standards, and it is sufficient if you solve these questions thoroughly. Remember basics, you read it from my material, that presentation, all charts. Read, second step, read your study material thoroughly, solve your illustrations, solve past examination questions of accounting standards, and after that read in detail CA final study material. So definitely you will score more than 20 in accounting standards. Once again, for small topics, we are focusing from the next session, from Tuesday. Today is the last session. But friends, I need your help, that you have to read it thoroughly, because now I want each and every student of our live virtual coaching classes, they must score exemption, or you must score more than 90. Keep a target very high, and I'm telling you, if your basics are clear, you are going to pass in first attempt exam only. But ठीक है, जो लोगों का लेट भी हो गया है, don't worry. Still you have any question, ask me in the group. Otherwise today, आज मैं थोड़ा जल्दी छोड़ दूंगा. Harshit is telling from Chennai, sir, एक suggestion. Okay beta, I can understand. Can you keep regular class and each class of 1.5 hours? Beta, that is only the suggestion which is given by me to the ICAI. But they think there are many students who are from articleship background, so they have to stop their activity at 10 o'clock. Yes, but definitely next time we will do it like foundation, daily 1.5 hours. But first day accounts and law, and second day costing and direct tax for 3 hours. Yes, we will implement this. That suggestion is really nice. Okay, Janki, yes beta, this will work for paper number 1 also and paper number 5 also. For accounting standards group 2, it is also very important, because in group 2 30 marks weightage is there for accounting standard. This is the only the weightage. I'm not saying it is exactly a weightage, but yes, definitely 15 to 20 marks weightage is for accounting standard. I hope you enjoyed the session properly, and yes, feedback is always open for you. Where to give feedback? Yes, we have given it. So for every feedback is always welcome. Suppose on YouTube channel, if you see in the description, there is a link which is given in the description. live ICAI, live.icai.org, boss VCC. So liveici.org. If you want even notes for this PDF notes related to these accounting standards, you will get it on this site only. So live.ici.org /boss/VCC. Next class timing, today only we will announce it on the website, and schedule we will provide you, but I'm telling it from my side, my session for advanced accounts, it will be on Monday in the morning, same timing, 7 to 9:30, and for group 1 accounts, from Tuesday in the evening, 6 to 8:30. Please note down these dates: on Tuesday 6 to 8:30, and on Monday for group 2 employee stock option plan, I'm taking it from 7 o'clock to 9:30. I hope you enjoyed today's session. Thank you once again. Yes, Khushbu, thank you. Okay, sir. Thank you, Janki. Okay, and articleship students, yes, beta, they will definitely attend the recorded session. But Harshit, sometimes we have to follow ICAI guidelines. Okay, this is not in my hand also. Thank you once again, all of you. Harshit, Aditi, Vignesh, Janki, Radha, and study properly. Agresh also, and Rohit Kumar. I not seen Rohit Kumar today. Okay, thank you.